I was just about to delete and reset my Mac Mini, which is this one. This is a M4 Mac Mini, and I just got a M2 Studio as I discussed in my last video. So I was just about to reset it, then I realized it's a good idea to just try to export a Davinci Resolve project that I might have just done, just to see what's the difference and which one performs better. So yeah, without further ado, let's export a couple of projects, similar settings, and see which one performs better. Just to make it a little bit more interesting, I've actually started a video export, or just set it up for now on my iPad. And let's see how much time an iPad take versus a MacStudio take versus a Mac Mini takes. And these are the settings that I'm using. It's a 4K export with, I think, the most troublesome thing which is there is this frame interpolation, which I've set to optical flow and enhance better, which is one of the better ones. So what this feature does is it allows you to actually smooth out any sort of speed ramps or slowdowns that you've done, and it fills in the frame. Let's assume it just shot at 24 frames per second, which wouldn't give you slow motion usually. But in this case, you can slow down the speed 50%, which would mean as if you've shot it at, let's say, 48 frames or 50 frames. But allowing these two features, which is enhance better and optical flow, makes the frames that are in between not jerky. So it fills in a artificial frame in between, and it feels like your video is smooth. So that takes a little bit of effort on the GPU as well as CPU. And that's what I usually do, because I do quite a lot of speed ramps and slowdowns in my videos, which I think is transitioned in the way that is one of the reasons that my Mac Mini is not performing as well as I would want it to be, especially for exports. So yeah, let's see how we go with this one. So I've actually transferred literally the same project and files from my iPad's Davinci to my Mac Studio as well as Mac Mini, so that we can have or control the test case. So as soon as that airdrop is complete, I'll start this export and on these two machines as well, and let's see what we get. So we've just received the file on the MacStudio. So let's go ahead and get that started. There you go. Well, in this case, all we need to do is relink all these files, and that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So we just got a airdrop, which means it'll be in the downloads section, I'm assuming. Yep. There you go. Yes, please do your search. And so let's begin the export on this device. Let's actually start it with the iPad. And this is the number that you want to see here, which is currently showing it's gonna take around 5 minutes to do it. So while it's doing there, let's start the export on our MacStudio. Let's name it Studio, and let's replace it and start the render. And you can see it already. It's the same export. This one's doing it at 172 frames per second, already done 25%. This one's doing it at, I believe, 18 frames per second. And it's still gonna take 434. And that's the difference between the power of a M2 MacStudio versus a M4 iPad. I know it's an iPad, but still. 36 seconds versus I've already been here for more than that. So while we've done that, let's actually go ahead and start doing let's do the same for MacStudio. Why am I confusing these things? Let's do the same for Mac Mini. This is Mini. Yes, let's export it. It's not bad. This one's running through quite quickly as well. So this video doesn't have too many effects and other things like that, but still it'll give us a good idea of what the basic edit and what you can expect from devices like these three. So I think we already got the story. The Mac Mini took 1 minute and 2 seconds for the export, whereas the MacStudio took 36 seconds. And the iPad is still ongoing. Now there's no point for us to continue this ongoing thing with the iPad, so let me quickly turn down some settings and I'll show you the actual use case of a device like iPad. So in this case, if I was doing it on iPad, I would probably do it enhance faster, and let's see if we're doing it by 1080 what we get. See, like it's not bad if you're doing it at 1080, but let's do it at I think 4K resolution still, but just turning down. Yeah, it's still not bad. Like under 2 minutes it is showing that it will be done even for 4K. So this setting, which is this frame interpolation, is sort of the culprit. I wouldn't call it the culprit because if you know how powerful it is, you would want to use it. But saying that, if you're using a device like iPad, you don't need to. And maybe try to get the footage to be slow motion if you want it to be slow motion to begin with, so you don't have to rely on post-production like I do most of the times. But in case you are like me and you want to learn as well as use the power of Davinci Resolve, I would say a Mac Mini M4 or a MacStudio is better suited than a iPad. But you saw how powerful the MacStudio is, and this is a M2 version, it's not even M4, so I can't even imagine how fast the M4 would be. But yeah, that'll finish the video for this one. And again, Mac Mini 1 minute 2 seconds, whereas 36 seconds on the MacStudio M2 Max. Like, it's the base spec for the MacStudio for M2 configuration, but it's still powerful enough. And let me quickly do the editing for the previous video where I told why I bought this Mac and how I got it. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. And hopefully this performance continues with me going through the timeline and whatnot, and it is a smoother experience, and I don't regret selling my eye. There's too many eyes in this MacBook Pro M3 Pro. Yeah.